We are now back, everyone, and we have our final episode today. It's going to be a rather interesting one. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to see a lot of people die today, including Hector, Aeneas, Paris, and many others. And I did hear all of you loud and clear on post versus live commentary. I tried out live commentary for one day, and let me tell you, I heard a unified chant saying, "Bring back post commentary. That's what we want. That's what we're going to do." And so it's back for sure. It's certainly a lot more work, but I really don't mind. When I say it's more work, that doesn't mean a bad thing. Sometimes you can find pleasure in work. You can derive joy from what you're doing, and I certainly do, especially whenever I see that I can focus on storytelling or even just visual cinematics. And, you know, I'm able to calmly explain what I'm doing in a battle whenever I do it after the fact. And I played it live, and you guys can see that I know how to play the game. Clearly, I've been playing Total War since roughly Medieval 2, I suppose. I played a little bit of Rome 1 back in the day, but I was more into Warcraft 3 back in that time period for that era of RTS gaming or Age of Empires or things like that. But yeah, so that's where we're at right now, and currently I'm just getting ready to go after some enemies of mine in the form of Hector, Aeneas, and others, but we're about to have a very big battle in just a moment. We're going to have a few big battles, and you're going to see thousands die. We're going to have an all-giant army battle, which is going to be quite exciting too. And I'm going to eventually confederate Sparta, meaning that I'm going to have over 100 regions under my command. Then we'll just need to squash the remainder of our foes, which is what we're going to do. And we're going to take over everything that we can. But Draco, man, he's been great. Draco Makas. I should have called him Malaka. You know, that term used over in AC Odyssey constantly. So much so to where it's just enjoyable. That game was a lot of fun. I played it on my channel, by the way. If you haven't checked it out, it's a great way to get into like even more Greek stuff. But we're about to fight a pretty major battle in just a moment. We have a large amount of enemies to beat up on, and here's one right now. So let's get into it and show them what's what. Trojan blood is going to be spilled. I told all of you that I would talk to you about post commentary and live commentary. So I've done quite a bit of live commentary in the past, and for the last year, I've been doing post commentary, maybe a year and some change now, I can't remember. But I did live commentary again, and it was rather unanimous. You guys were like, no, go back. You're going back to post commentary. I want my epic camera pans, and I want you to deliver that experience to me right now. And it was actually really cool to see such a unified response. I'd gotten some people telling me, hey, I want you to go back to live, do it live, I prefer that. But I showed you guys what it's like to do it live. In fact, I mean, it's a little bit easier because I spend less time. I could just play it once live and move on. But here, I play it myself and then I go over what my plans were. Like right now, here's my plan. My plan was to use an overwhelming amount of freaking javelin attacks to just overwhelm anyone. Talking about their javelins or whatever else. I've got my chariots moving in from behind. I've got my spears over here, and I've got my midnight runners over on the right flank. We only have a few prominent battles, and eventually we're just gonna have to auto-resolve the rest of it. There won't be anything worth fighting, but I've got my hero, my fighter Ravager, now moving in, and I'm charging in too, and you can just see what we're doing right now to survive and win. And we're gonna be doing some Great Kingdoms pretty darn soon too. I'm really getting back into historical Total War titles. That's my new thing. And as a brief reminder, I will be getting into streaming on Twitch later this year. I am currently working on all of my assets. It'll take me probably a few months to get everything together and to be ready for that. I'm not sure what we'll be playing yet. It'll be some of the old classics, but we'll also just try new stuff too. But I want to make it a clubhouse because here's one thing about me. I like chatting with all of you. I like to get into discussions. I like to get into debates. I like to just really just hang out with you guys. You're people, I'm people. And I just like to chill out, man. Especially in such an isolated time period. It's good to reach out and just to kind of like bond with other people or to just get to know them. And just because I've got a channel doesn't mean anything at all. I'm a human being, and anyone who acts like they're more than what they are just because they have a little bit of a following, they're goofy. They're silly, goofy people. All right, so we're charging in now. Here comes our midnight runners. They're charging right in. We got light skirmishers who are being hit by my midnight runners. My chariots are still behind. And let's look at what I'm doing right now. I've got a lot of spearmen who are just being held in reserve. I've got midnight runners who are charging in to go flank a bunch of enemies. I've got two leaders fighting right now. And you can see that my javelins are melting them. They're doing that. That was intentional. That was part of their plan. And the great charge now happens. Wonderful.
Victory is close enough to
All right, so we move on again. Let's go. Ooh, I kind of lost my orientation on my own over there. My camera was going all over, but my skirmishers are now moving back away for like a little bit, just to kind of get away from some of that infantry. I've got more javelins over here now attacking enemies on the right hand side here. My chariots are now helping me go after what's left of their slingers and javelin men. We've got spearmen and other units that are hitting them. And what else do we have around here? Well, we're currently attacking a group of heavy shock spears with my own heavy shielded spearmen. It's a spear battle. Infantry can do some good stuff, but they're meant to be there to kind of hold the lines while you have the rest of your army fighting. Actions speak louder than insults. Was that like a rip at Three Kingdoms? Why don't you shut up? Like, you know how they have the pseudo banter? I say pseudo banter because it's not real banter. My best friend is Scottish, okay? We've been friends for like 10 years. I have learned the art of banter and how to... We don't get personal with it, which I know like some friend groups do, but... Oh, man. Anyway, let me zoom out. So over here, we've got, let's see, Renowned Island Skirmishers, 14 kills, 2 kills for that group. We've got some Champions of Troy who are still around. My chariots are still just riding around and doing a lot of damage. I got some more javelins over here who are slowly just breaking down a bunch of Champions of Troy. Got some more Midnight Runners who are fighting. We're definitely winning the battle. We have them surrounded right now. We've broken most of them. They have some heavy shock spears over here. And it's just like, what I do, I mixed in game commentary with like just personal commentary. I can't help that. It's always been in my nature, which is why I probably should have been streaming years ago. I think in terms of my commentary, as far as like mixing in real life stuff or personal stuff and gameplay stuff, I am definitely more suited for that type of venue, but I was being stubborn. But we're gonna have custom music, we're gonna have custom everything. I am making sure that if I do this, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna do it right, and I'm gonna do it one time. I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, I should probably get some cool stuff. No, I'm doing that now. We have a little bit of the battle left to go. There's not too much left. Most of them have lost. My Midnight Runners have come in, and they're just killing what's left of these few. No, these guys are meant to come in and just ambush and destroy, but they've all broken pretty much. So now we get to get out of here. Let's get out of here and leave. We won a pretty good fight. We absolutely won that battle. We lost only 249. They lost 1,300. They had a fairly elite army, though. I had to be careful in that fight. And so we can now move on. We're going to see what we can do to further degrade and destroy our foes. We gained a bronze mirror, some Archeon. Oh man, my Greek is not great, isn't it? There's actually a new supplement put out for D&D 5e called Theros. It's based on a Magic the Gathering setting, and I'm going to probably DM for it eventually. One day, once we get into our Twitch community, which, by the way, I will be on Twitch quite a bit in a few months. I'm getting a bunch of custom assets completed, which I'll probably mention more than once, but that's going to be really cool because we'll be able to hang out. I'll do some Total War, some Mountain Blade, but I'll probably like play a whole bunch of games and things like that. It'll just like change up depending on what it is. I know eventually I want to have like a community server for Warband, then later for Bannerlord. I would love to go back and play Full Invasion 2, then, you know, Full Invasion 3 for Bannerlord. I feel like you could, I don't know, get a new name for rather than 3, but no, that actually works out fine. What would you call it? I don't know, Total Invasion? No, we can't do that, but we now have a new battle to fight. It's going to be interesting. They have a lot of units, but we have the grit, we have the power, and we can do it. So let's jump on in and win a battle today. We've got to fight over 4,000 men right now, and I've got a giant army. 16 out of 20 units are giant based. Look at how many men are running over here. Over 4,000. I mean, they are trampling over all of the grass. It's a bright, beautiful day. And they're on their way, but we're gonna do our best to win right now. So over here, we have, of course, our reinforcements. I'm gonna use them a lot, especially all of our skirmishers. I've got 3,337, they have 4,377. And here's my giant army, if you've not seen them yet. My giant army is ready. My giant army is going to destroy today. The idea for us is to completely overwhelm our enemies and, of course, to use our skirmishers and our reinforcing army to shoot them apart. So we're going to fast forward a little bit because we've all got to move forward. It's time for everyone to move forward. We've got to assault them. We've got to break them at various points, and we've got to ensure that there's a severe degradation of our enemies now. So over here, we've got renowned archers who are now moving up. They have guards of Troy, but thankfully a lot of standard infantry groups. If they were all elite like champions or guards of Troy, I would be in a lot more trouble. I wouldn't be able to win the battle. But here they come now. They're now attacking me. We're moving into position. They're shooting at my leader, my hero vanquisher. My chariots right now are going to move right behind them if they can. And here comes the rest of my army. We're going to get into position. I did need my two armies. There was no way that one army was going to win on their own. It would be nigh impossible. Look at these shields. What arrows could hit me? These are really massive shields. I feel like that would be cumbersome or just heavy to use in battle. I would need to really feel how much a bronze shield weighs. Do any of you know? I'm actually pretty curious on that. I'm really into the Bronze Age, but I really haven't looked into like Bronze Age weaponry in terms of weight, of effectual weight and how that all feels. But everyone is now moving in. Let's go ahead and just kind of put that back. My giants are moving in. Here comes my champions, by the way. Oh, these champions are wasting them away. The battle is over for them. Here's our final part today where we unify the lands and we become the ultimate power. And over here, I've got a firm line of allies who are holding. I'm going to need to bring in my javelins. And of course, we're going to try to hit their own ranged units. You can see where they're at. They outnumber me. They do outnumber me. And I've got my giant bowmen over here who are just waiting and launching a few volleys right into them. But I did hear all of you. You made your voices so clear in the comments saying, hey, man, bring back those post-commentary battles. And I'm just bringing it up one more time because it was just so cool to see that all of you were so excited about something that I do that isn't too commonly done that I know of. And I mean, there's like custom battles or, you know, single battles, but in what I'm doing here is where I have the campaign map and I'm also doing custom battles, and that's a lot of work, man. That's a lot. That means not only am I doing every battle, I'm doing it twice. But I'm more than happy to do it because I know that a lot of you enjoy it, especially now. So to me, that's just like a celebration saying, hey, they actually like it. They really, really do. But anyway, my giant bowmen now are focusing on a large amount of enemies. I probably should have like lined them up a little bit closer, but I thought they were just fine where they're at. One of my units have kind of like lost their minds, but I've got chariots now chasing after a bunch of sirens. Beep, beep, get out the way. And they're falling down. Hey, ladies, how's it going? Oh my God, they're gorgeous. Wow. Okay then. Huh. I mean, look, they're called sirens, so I suppose they had to be. It's just that, you know, the models aren't always like of gorgeous people in general, whether male or female. They're usually pretty kind of funky looking. But the chariots have over 160 kills. Oh yeah, dude, chariots are strong. Don't get me wrong. They're very strong. They're absolutely strong. I've got a lot of giants over here who are fighting. Bam, bam, bam. Ooh. And so the battle proceeds onwards right now. We have a few more minutes left because what am I doing? Well, what I'm doing right now, I'm moving units to flanks because I'm going to javelin the hell out of them. So look at that. I've got two groups of javelins on my reinforcing army. I've got my chariots who were able to run right through a bunch of their ranged units. And now I can penetrate them from behind. The ultimate Greek tactic. Yes, let them have the shaft. It is time. Is my commentary filled with innuendo and juvenile references? Oh, absolutely. I won't even deny it. It's certainly there. It happens. But we are melting them, and they are falling. Look at that. They are just deteriorating. I mean, they have nothing that they can do. I could just stand here now and shoot them all, which is what I'm doing right now. We're hitting a bunch of very powerful units. I just have to hold the line. Meanwhile, over here, I've got giant bowmen who are still attacking another group. We got, let's see, how many kills? 79, 69, 86. How many? 111. That's a lot of kills altogether. Killing so many of them. My chariots are still moving at 82 kills. I'm still getting some pounding, you know, giants over here to kill some of these guys, these champions of Troy. Probably a little bit too much for them, but they're still doing the job. We're chasing after a few more, but you can see what's happened over here. We've killed most of them. Most of our enemies are now dead. They are done. They are destroyed, really. How much more can they do? Not too much more. Oh, look at what we are doing to them. So now we're going to bring in all the javelins, and they're going to hit in one general location. We've got a hero over here who's beating the hell out of a lot of different enemies. And the battle is over. We have won the battle. There's just Hector over here. But, I mean, come on. Hector, you've killed 18, buddy. My giants are around. I've got not only a giant army, but a javelin army, which is what we're good at. I actually love the visuals here. These are freaking sweet. Look at these guys. We smash really good. This is my Midnight Runners too. But the battle's over, we've won. Another battle completed. And we lost a few, 594, but they lost a lot more. They lost 4,212. We absolutely trucked them. We destroyed them. We showed them what our powers truly are. And we have a lot more to do though. We're not quite done yet. So what are we going to do about that? Well, we're going to end a few turns, and we're just going to kind of like play around and move our armies around. And you can see that I've got a lot more power than I used to. I did confederate all of Sparta, meaning that they gave me so many armies. I had minus 200,000 to food. It took me like 10 to 15 minutes to organize everything, to go through my buildings and to change all my commandments to where we would change it to trade tithe. In order to get 5% more resources from whatever they had produced over there. And so we do have Sparta on our side now, or inside of us. Wait, no, I'm going to rephrase that. But anyway, we do have Sparta in our faction now. We're all one cohesive body of power, and we just need to go after one general area. I mean, I've done all this fighting. We just have to push into one general area. Now to beat up another guy in an auto-resolve. It's a quick one. We're going to be auto-resolving a little bit just because we're at a point now where we are the absolute power. I've won major battles. I've destroyed all of my enemies that I really need to, and there are very few left for me to worry about. So we're going to see how we're going to really take on a whole bunch of them. All right. Let's see here. Heeded the call. There are so many different traits that you can pick up, and they're great and all, but like once you have so many leaders, so many armies, you begin to like worry a little bit less about granular detail. Which I guess is like a huge fault of like getting into like the super late game. I think like mid and early game are probably like my favorite parts of Total War. There's some type of gratification from just being able to conquer the map, and I do it, you know, here and there, but it's really not my favorite thing at all. I prefer to just fight engaging battles and to really move on, but I also like having that like cohesive context for the campaign map, saying here is your purpose behind just fighting battles. Battles are fine and all, but I personally just couldn't do custom battles or whatever else. I just like the idea of just kind of like engaging in the actual, you know, elements of the game that gives me more of a story to work with and all of that. So I'm a big fan of that, and we're just gonna again auto-resolve and clock a few enemies like that, and they're falling apart. We lost very few in that auto-resolve, so there's no point in not doing that. It would be weird if I didn't do that. Independent, so we got a new trait too. And we're not gonna have a battle for a little bit. I think we've got like a few minutes to go, but that's all right. Let's see, Adrestia. And there's just so many large armies. Amphidamas is looking at that going, do I want to do that? And here's like the main reason why I avoid attacking late game settlements, especially if they belong to Hector. Their melee defense is so high, and unless you have like a bunch of slingers, a bunch of archers, it's going to take you forever. And even then, you need the right angles in order to hit them and to be able to bloody them up enough to get right through them. Otherwise, you're just kind of stuck there the whole time. You're just going to be stuck there just trying to fight through them, and you end up losing so many different units. So I'm finding ways around that. I'm finding out how I can avoid those situations, and I can just get to another foe instead of trying to like clock it right through them. So right now I'm just like managing a few locations, trying to encourage some growth, getting more resources. I mean, that's why if you have a really good ally who has like, let's say, I don't know, like Sparta, 100 regions on the map, let them stay if you want more armies to help you out, because you can kind of like direct them to go where you want. In my case, I gain like what, 2 armies, 3 armies because of my supply line. So there's only so many armies that I can keep despite the amount of lands I have. And like there's like mods to get rid of that, but I do understand why they added it in, just because they're like, hey, we don't want you to be able to support too many armies or whatever. But then I guess at like that point, what else would you do? I would probably, I don't know, decrease or rebalance the economy overall. I think if you're very large, you should be able to do that, but I don't know. I don't really remember the strategy that I would often use in Medieval 2. I mean, we can't really bring up Medieval 2 for modern day Total Wars because it was made by CA Australia, which, you know, that's gone now. That's been gone for many, many years. So the idea of what that is from a different company that shared the same type of like blanket name. It's kind of like Blizzard and Blizzard North. Blizzard North was so different. But I don't really remember what I would do. Would I really like conquer the whole map? I think there might have been like less locations to conquer, so that might have been a big part of it. But we have to be careful whenever we talk about like older things, because unless you're playing it now, then you can have like a very rose-tinted view, or if you're using a bunch of mods to kind of like correct things and all that. For me, if like the UI was a little bit more updated for, I think, Medieval 2, I could probably get along with the same formula. Isn't it fascinating to not have like a true Total War clone out there? We don't really have one, do we? We have like a few multiplayer games to kind of emulate the concepts to a certain degree, but... And I totally enjoyed Total War, and I always shall, but I certainly do play a large variety of games. Anything historical, anything in that realm, doesn't really matter the culture, the time period, because for me, it's all ways for me to learn something new. And when I was a young boy, I would go to the library and I would just check out books on mythology. And I'm going to say mythology because it could be Chinese, it could be Aztec, it could be Greek, whatever. I wouldn't care. It would just be things I would want to learn about, and it fascinated me. It was like my ticket into other worlds, and that was before like internet use was super heavy. It was in the 90s, and I didn't have a PC until like 2003 or 4, I think, like 3 probably. So in that time frame is when I was like opened up to a little bit more knowledge. But I remember using Ask Jeeves and not Google. Google was like a foreign concept to me at that time, which is really funny to think about. But yeah, no, I mean, mythology was my thing. It was my favorite thing to really study and read about, and to also go over the syncretic beliefs and how they would evolve and merge with other cultures. And when you talk about like these ancient faiths and stuff, it wasn't some homogenous faith that never changed. There were changes over time, especially with the perceptions of people who worshipped these gods, which again is why you kind of have this anachronistic like perspective of Greek gods. Like, why was Zeus a weird dude who was really horny and liked to turn into animals and screw around? Or why was he seen as a more noble symbol of justice or whatever at that time period? Because you had different people writing for him, writing for an audience at that time, and perspective is everything, and it's written by certain people. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that rant. I'm trying like a slightly different commentary today. You can tell me if you like it. I'll mix it up and talk about the game more, but I thought because we're at the very end, I would like try something a little bit new, where I would just kind of like talk about what's off the top of my head. It might be a little bit more meta. It's a kind of like a little bit of an example of like maybe Twitch chat in the future, outside of like me actually talking to people in chat. But let's go get ready for a new battle. We've got one coming up right over here. Let's go. We have the ultimate survival battle right now. I've got to defend against thousands of enemies who are out here in muddy fields at the moment. Let's keep on looking. So I'm gonna go over my plan and how I'm going to survive this battle despite the harrowing numbers I've got to endure. It's pretty cool to see though these maps and how detailed they are. I'm fighting on my first real choke point map. They're moving in waves. We've got over 20 minutes to go. Over 5,600 enemies. So my goal is to outshoot all of their skirmishers. Sure, mine are better, but they have more. We have 3 groups over here. 2 are currently fleeing. 1 is shattered. We got on the right flank a bunch of spearmen. We got a Cyclops close by. And let's see, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit just to kind of like show you what's going on. So I've got over here a bunch of my warriors of Ithaca. They're on the front lines, holding strong, holding firm. I've got my archers close by on the right flank, and they're just shooting into a bunch of light skirmishers at the moment. Moving back real quick, and we can go look over here on the right flank too, and we can see what's happening. We've got renowned Dardanian fighters who are moving in. And they're not easy to really deal with, but between my leader, between my Cyclops, I think we've got a pretty good chance. I knew that they would come out to fight. Aeneas, you can't win today, buddy. So we've got our bowmen. And their only job right now is to save arrows for any type of ranged enemies. Like over here, we've got some more archers moving in. We've got even more over here, more javelins too. And they're going to get some hits for sure. There's no way they're not going to get some hits. I mean, they're just meant to. That's what they're good at. I've got a bunch of units in reserve right now. They're only hitting so many. I mean, look at how many skirmishers I broke already. I melted them right away. And I've got my archers still pretty close by. My bowmen still pretty close by. 56 kills, over 100. Now, unfortunately, we've got to watch out for some chariots. They're going to get some kills. They have 11 right now. I'm going to send in my giants, my giant vanguard, who's way over here on the right hand, to go after them directly. And we're still just attacking a whole bunch of these others. I mean, look at that. That's a lot of skirmishers, man. That's a lot of skirmishers who we're having to shoot in just massive amounts right now. It's a lot. And I think we can do it. I think we can actually pull something off here, provided we just continue shooting. I mean, just have a look at how many thousands are charging in. Oh man, that is a scary, scary bunch. We've got some ranged weapons attacking right now. On the left flank, what else do we have? We've got, let's see, Warriors of Ithaca. We've got over here heavy Trojan chariots, 58 kills. Bowmen who are currently attacking them. And bowmen right in the middle. So we're going to go back to the right flank. The balance of power is not in my favor. I'm not meant to win this battle. It's not meant to be. I don't have artillery. In a typical game, you would have artillery, but they would also probably have artillery too. That's like the really tough part, is that they would have it too, so that would negate your own advantage. So it's actually interesting to not have to deal with any of that. Here comes a bunch of their larger giants, armored spear giants right now. Armored spearmen, giant armored spearmen. Trying to get their name right. But my giant vanguards are still going after these chariots who have 86 kills. They got a lot of kills. I mean, they came in from behind. I'm now bringing in more infantry to help me hold back a lot of renowned swordsmen and other soldiers that they have close by. We still have to deal with a few of these archers. Like over here, they have 93 kills, and it's only one group. I mean, they are renowned, but still. Now, I've got javelins over here who are just like throwing into this large cuddle puddle of enemies. We're still breaking down the chariots. The chariots are dying. The chariots are falling apart. We've got over here a lot of clubs that are just smashing and smashing and smashing. And yeah, we're just going to take our time. We're going to take our time right now and see what we can do. Because as long as I have ranged elements in my army, I've got a pretty good chance to win. We're not fighting Hector's army, thankfully. We're only fighting the Dardanians. They have a little bit more offensive punch, but they also lack defenses that the other factions have. I mean, that's a lot of bronze. I would like to recycle all that bronze, by the way. So we zoom out again. Our leader at 30 kills, fighting on the front lines at the moment. Oh boy, let's go back over here. Let's see, we're just holding on. We're just holding on right now. And let's see, we've got some archers, and I wanted them to go hit that archer group. They're finally doing it. We're slowly getting them. They have over 100 kills. But let's just have like a quick look at how many I've killed already. I've killed such a superb number of enemies at the moment. It's pretty bananas. Then over here, we've got some more to kill. As long as I get rid of some of these giant... Now, the giant bowmen I might not be able to get, but I can get the renowned archers. And I've got all these javelins and some archers all hitting them. Some bowmen. My leader has 41 kills right now. We've got a large pile of dead. I tossed in one boulder. How many kills did you get, Sai? He's at 158, so hopefully that was a lot that he just got. But we're fighting now. We're buffed up. We're in the middle. We can see what's happening. We're standing on a pile of dead friends. It's not easy, my friends. It's not easy being cheesy. But no, it's not easy being Greeksy. We go back over here to the left flank. We can see that my giants are able to get that chariot group. They have 30 kills total. Over here, I just have like everyone holding things off. So we'll go back to the right flank. And what am I going to do over here? Well, I've got no choice but to try to just really shoot. I've got bowmen. I've got some javelins left. My harpies are able to beat their giant friends. Well, we still do have giant bowmen. I'm trying to kill them, but they're pretty tough, man. They are some big, tough guys, and we're just trying to even get a few kills. They're constantly releasing arrows over at us. Ooh. You can see where I'm dropping all of my arrows right now, too. My biggest goal is to try to take out some leaders, maybe get them to break. If I get my Cyclops to go after some of their leaders, too, that'll be a huge help. My bowmen, 220 kills, 197, 103.
You have lost a unit.
We've got... Oh, I lost a unit. Oh, no. When did that ever happen? They got my harpies over there, too. That's okay, though. It's a giant bowman. They have over 300 kills at the moment, and we keep on looking around. But we're actually going to be able to win this battle. We've broken a lot of them, and we could kill even more. My Cyclops is still in the middle, just thrashing them about. He's got nearly 200 kills. We've nearly taken out all their leaders, too. That one leader is broken. Let's go back over here real quick, and we can see what's happening. See how we can deal with the day and the situation and everything involved in that. Yeah, I'm just holding out over here on the left flank at the moment.
Enemy hero has sustained a wound.
We wounded one enemy hero. We have another one close by, and he's nearly done for. I mean, look at how many I've killed already. Their bowmen are now gone. That hero is nearly wounded. Then they have one more hero left. My Cyclops and all of my friends, I mean, they're fighting currently. They're doing a great job. Their numbers have been reduced to below mine at this point. Now, I've lost a lot of range stuff, so that's pretty much a tough thing for me to deal with, but we're still going through some heavy shock spears. We'll go back over here real quick and check things out. Let's see. We've got even more renowned sword fighters. They're looking pretty shaky though. Their morale is dropping quickly, not for all groups, but for a lot of them. They're dropping and they're having to leave right now. And we won the battle. We're just going to chase after them, but we broke them all. We won. Let's move on. That battle is over. He lost it, man. All right, Plume guy, you're down again. Dardania eventually is going to join Hector, and it's going to be such a pain because I'm going to have to like go after him and beat him further. So come on, man. You don't have to do that, but naturally he is going to do that, and it's going to be a nightmare for me. But I'm going to do my best. We're going to try to take him out and see what we can do after that. We're going to like blip over and end a turn or two and just see what's left of them. But there we are, man. I've conquered most of Anatolia. I have made myself a profound power, and there's really no stopping that. I don't even have a lot of agents. If I had more agents, we would never get anything done. I would just be able to use them to completely degrade my foes. And we're going to pick a new ability for our good buddy over here, Alpha Damas. Alpha Damas. And let's see. Nothing really for me to get that would be handy for him. I'll just have to like bring him up and have him do something. All right, let's see here. What do we have? We've got like a little location we can burn down. I'm going to burn it down. They're probably going to rebuild it. They love rebuilding it. I think for me, I probably have not been aware at how much land there is to the northeast. It's a really tough one for me. It's just, I didn't really look at that and go, hey, you know what? Maybe I should watch out for even more stuff over in the northeast. Oh man, that's always been a very tough one, just to kind of like keep in mind whenever you're on a new map to know just how far things go. But there we go. We're just going to quickly auto-resolve that one too. Like I told you, I just want to be able to auto-resolve and get through all of these little fights over here so that we can just say, hey, look, we're done. We've done it. We've completed the goals. And that's always my goal, is to get through the goals. It's always important. It's always fun. And let's see. We've got, ooh, Methmina. Methmina is what we're going after pretty soon. We're going to besiege several locations. Sometimes I just like to, you know, besiege it and just keep them busy. I just have to keep them busy. I just have to kind of like take my time and let them wait it out, because like once more, if I fought like every single battle that we were fighting, and these are siege battles, so like we kind of know how that's going to end. Though I guess like it is true, I am trying to avoid the siege battles where they have like full veteran champions of Troy, because that would be like a 30-minute fight every time. And I'm going to do what it takes to just tear them apart, man. I'm going to just completely break them. I don't feel weird about that. I don't feel strange about just doing that, but let's get ready now to kind of pop one over and to see things progress. Oh, it's finally time for that final push. We're ending another turn and getting on to a new element of our gameplay, of our combat. But we are nearly done. We're just like pushing up to the northeast. Hector joined up with Dardania, or Dardania joined up with frickin' Hector. And, oh, man, I was nearly done. But that's why you'll never be done if confederations exist and if they're allowed to do that at such a late point. Hector was nearly done for, and guess what he did? Which I guess, like, logically, you would want them to try to survive and to build up like that. But when you're at the very end and, like, you're about to reach the frickin' finish line, and they're like, no, I'm only going to play around here. I'm going to make you wait a little bit. All right. So, let's see here. We're going to have to deal with Paris pretty soon. I know he's a bit of a punk, and he's going to want to fight. But then after that, we'll just go around, and we'll just call it a day, and it's going to be awesome. So, let's see. Alpha Damas, you're over here. We're going to have to, like, move up or something. We're going to have to just, like, push up there. But for now, let's go after Pelopia. I just picked up a really cool sword, +7 in melee attack. Now, I told all of you I could easily take over just by confederating Sparta, so I did. And, man, if you want a lot of food, come over here. There's a few islands like them where you can get a Cyclops cave. 2,000 food, 350 for favor with Poseidon. Not to mention you get all those Anax missions giving you new items and new titles and a whole bunch of really cool stuff. It's really nice to have. But I was able to confederate Sparta. They joined me. Now I'm just finishing off some enemies. Right now, Lycia is going after Hector. His last little location down here, right? Yeah, down there. Meanwhile, I'm conquering over to the northeast. And we're going to push on real quick. I'm going to go after a few other locations. Let's go over here to Encore, or Encore, whatever. I've got Atreus, who's going to move on too. I'm going to have him just kind of force his way up there. There's not too many locations that they own that are currently left, but we've already conquered so much, I'm not really feeling too bothered by it all. Now, we also have, let's see, Lucas over here. Menelaus, who's on my side. He's rank 11. We're nearing the very end of it all. A Trojan culture. Yeah, take that. Plus 20 to melee attack. Or is that 20%? Hold on. Let me go back. I'm pretty curious. Let's see. Nope. Just plus 20, but still, that's a lot. That's quite a bit. Here's Achilles over here, who's now on my side too. I'm going to give him a nice melee chariot. That's going to cause him to do a lot more damage against a bunch of units. Okay. So I want you two to move over to Sipte right now. Do that real quick, and we can take over the world. Here we go. All right, so outside of that, we are going to take Melon over here. He's level 19. Scroll down. I gave him Cleave. I'm going to give him... Yeah, I'm going to eventually give him a melee chariot. That'll be nice to have. That's what I'm thinking anyway. All right, we're going to run him up real quick. Just a little bit closer. I want everyone to be as close as they can be. You're only level 13, so keeping you in the army is kind of rough. Go. And outside of that, we got Amphidamas, who has some pretty decent weaponry. And fatigue reduction. Here is your... No, you don't get armor. You have your Sword of Troy, which is nice. Plenty of items beyond that. You've got your items too, buddy. I think you're going to be okay.
I have a plan.
Oh, yeah. Most of them have their items. Probably not all of them, but most of them do. We're going to end our turn now. There's not too much more for me to do. We've taken over so many lands. There's just a little bit more of Hector to destroy. Then it's all said and done. I'm your antagonist, huh? Yeah, I know. Well, I'm yours. I don't know if you're mine. We don't have that type of relationship. I've done so much more against you. But, you know, it's all working out. It's all going well. We are taking out so many different enemies. We are destroying them. We're just moving through. And if he wants... Oh, yeah, there's Polydamas. I've already beaten him. I guess he's maybe immortal or something. That's fine. I'll be back for him. I've got 3 armies up there. Yeah, I had to actually disband like 8 armies outside of the, I believe, only 2 that I'm currently upkeeping. That's why I tell you it's not always good to confederate, because if you want extra armies and they're a really solid ally, keep them. If they're large and they have many armies out there, you won't be able to support nearly as many due to supply lines, which is a... Oh, motivation critical. That's fine. Yeah, each turn I end up getting a new Anax event, just triggering. So I'm just getting a lot of crazy items. Yeah, Boetea. I mean, we have what we need right now. It's pretty sweet, man. It's pretty sweet. Seal of Thebes. Let's see. We've got over here the need to go after another pretty dominant area to the northeast. I don't think I've ever been this far up to the northeast. And because we have so many armies, we can easily take it back. Big thing to keep in mind is that they can't conquer as fast as I can. And smack. Okay, now it's time to occupy. We got Sipte, Fabled, Heeded the Call. I mean, just a bunch of different traits. Trait lost. Okay, good. We don't have nearly as little morale as we did before. Let's move on now. Lucas, I'm going to have you move down to over here later on, but not right now. Right now, we're pretty busy. Come over here. Amphidamas is moving. The Amazons are close by. Continue siege right now. There's a few locations. Yeah, wow, that's crazy. They've got stuff left somewhere. Yeah, look at that. The Amazons are left. Thank you, Lycia. I appreciate your help, by the way. Let's see, I could have you go after other armies, I suppose. Whatever you want to do, man. Just do something. I'm going to finish off their armies. Take care of them. Actually, we'll just move down over here and try to kill him. And do it now? Oh, you ruined it. You freaking ruined it. But either way, we're down here to corner him. I'm going to give him, let's see, passive hit point regeneration. That's pretty sweet. So we'll give him that. Let's see, you'll come after... No, we'll just move together as a giant horde. I'm just like showing you what you could do at the end game. Like, would you fight these all out if you had all the power in the world? Now we're just completing. Now it's just about completion. I think it was over by the time I got to Troy. Once I took Troy, it was just like a matter of time. But no, I do like how short these are. I do think they could like do with a shorter in-game goal. Because like taking Troy to me is like the biggest part. Once you take Troy, that's it. And if you want that to be the in-game goal, just have them like keep a few armies close by so that you got to fight through like maybe 3 stacks, 4 stacks. Ooh, the ladies are over here. Toxotes, we got Stone Slingers, Warband, Initiates, Quarter Knights. We got Mounted Huntresses. A lot of sirens. That would actually be a very hard army to beat. Iron Ash Club. A helm for her. So yeah, just a bunch of good stuff. We've conquered all that. Let's see real quick. You can't move that far, buddy. That's okay. That's okay. And that's really it for my armies. I got agents, but that's it for my army. So we'll end our turn again. I'm losing 2,000 food per turn. I got some technology here. Oh, God. Look at that. That's crazy. Are you kidding me? We got to kill him somehow. Okay, Paris. It's time to beat you up, you little fool. All right. So he's got over 1,000 for damage and 794 for missile damage. He's just chilling out right now. No one wants you here, pal. No one really respects you. I hope you know that. Goofy looking fool. He's like, well, I'm driving off then. We've got light skirmishers close by. We're going to focus on Paris big time. I'm also going to flank these Hector's Chosen. It's only a minor battle. It's not going to be too long. Like over here, they're clearly going to easily beat my young spears. I mean, these guys have armor and power. I'll be shocked if we get any kills at all. I've got half-naked men fighting a bunch of elite veterans. Paris is moving up. He's got 25 kills so far. I've already broken a group of, let's see, light skirmishers. They'll probably be back. I'll have to watch out for them. We'll probably want to use our javelins with any type of unit that I have, like my heavy sword skirmishers. It's crazy how much variety there is in Troy based on what armies you're using. I like it a lot. It's a really good sign to me that we can actually give a lot of variety to games. To games like, you know, Rome 3. I don't know if we'll ever get a Rome 3. But I would love a Rome 3. I would love to have like a much better launch with the new graphics and new settings and new UI and all of that. I'm just wanting more historical games constantly, whether it's Medieval 3, Empire 2. Now, I could really use an Empire 2. I think we need to get some gunpowder stuff back. I do miss that a lot. I miss the music. I miss Napoleon. I just love that era of warfare. It is incredible. It is scary. It's terrifying the way that people had to fight. Hey, everyone, we're going to stand in this line, and we're going to shoot little lead balls at people. Let's do that. Let's do that and do it in a more respectful fashion. Oh, excuse me. I've got to stand in this line and shoot you. Would you mind? Oh, yeah, sure, sir. Sure. But here's Paris. He actually dismounted from his chariot. That's good for me. We've broken these Hector's Chosen. They got over 100 kills. Got all my range units. I mean, javelins and all. All right, let's see. Paris broke quickly. He's what you're calling a little bitch boy. And we've won. That's it. We won the battle. They've all broken. All right, you two. It's time for you to work together. We've got a few more locations to take over. You'll come over to the east. Achilles will come over here. We took out Paris, so Paris is done for. And now we're just kind of like cleaning up a few more locations. It's crazy how much land Hector had left. Whenever they're on the losing back foot, they tend to just conquer more lands in a different direction, and you're like, holy crap, how much more do I need to go through? But no, here is largely due to Dardania. That's making it tough for me. All right, so we've got just a few more areas left, man. One major city, it looks like. Yeah, the rest are pretty broken down. I mean, we have a brief look. I own pretty much everything. Just pushing through, and we'll keep on doing that. My spy close by. I've got 3 armies over here. I can move around if I want to, so let's go. There we go, another one. We're at the very end now. We are just right there at the very end. We're about to finish up our entire campaign. I haven't actually gone to the very end of some type of like obligatory objective to win a Total War game in a very long time.
They'll fall to us.
Ooh, hold on. We've got over here Aeneas. He's got a big army, mostly broken apart, though. The Amazons are close by, too. Let's see, who else do we have? Odysseus, he's going to move over here. We'll try it out anyway. Got 2 armies from the west, moving over to the east. Here's another one. He's got to level up, too. Let's just move him over to land. Level him up real quick. I'm going to give him, let's see, Frenzy. Or, no, I'll give him Assault and Battery. That's a good one. He won't lose control. Okay, more armor-piercing damage. Yeah, take that. Take more damage. Deal more damage. Do what you can. Let's end our turn again. Yeah, so we do have Aeneas pretty close by. They're moving out to come fight me. We don't have to fight them directly. I've got friends, man. You're in trouble now. Oh, what the hell? They just, like, reduced a bunch of their numbers, right? I thought he had, like, a full stack. He probably combined. I'm assuming he combined units. No, guys, I've already done my part to win the game. You're just here to watch me murder you. He's moving away. Moving even closer. We've got Hector close by. I've got 3 stacks, 60 units. He's still moving. We'll move all of you even closer. Menelaus, you too. And we got him, man. I mean, look at that. A town, a leader. Ooh, oh no! The man's dead. Let him walk. No, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna let him walk. Okay. Achilles. So you don't like to take replenishment. That's really interesting. Or you lose motivation. Fascinating. Wow, you can really buff up his damage. That gets kind of wild, now doesn't it? All right. Let's see over here. Oh, I had actually meant to bring you a little bit closer, but that's fine too. All right, let's push in. We just took it. I now own that location. That gives me some replenishment. Can't reach you. Nor can you. I can take a quick unit to help me out. They burned down one location. That's fine too. So Atreus, I'm going to send you out, I think, pretty soon. Come over here. We'll conquer this area. We're in the corner of the map. No, there's plenty of areas where you could expand and add in more factions, for sure. But I wonder what they'll actually do for that, if they'll actually add in different characters depending on where they came from. The Trojans, I mean, you had Rhesus, that would have been a Thracian king, a Thracian ruler. That could have been very cool. All right, let's see. We'll send out a third over here. We'll send out one over here to go after what's left of Hector and his boys. Poor Hector and his boys. They tried so hard. Ooh, that was a quick one. I didn't like that. Wasn't even like, oh, you might win. That was just an execution. All right, that's it, man. Atreus did a great job. He's been fighting for us for a very long time. Over here, Ares Rage, more damage. Yeah, take that. Let's end our turn again. It's crazy because, like, again, Sparta was the one who really confederated all over there in the west. I think it was like partially Achilles, then Menelaus took him. And, oh, okay, you're not my buddy now? That's fine. Lycia is very strong for what they are. Motivation critical, all right. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there. The odds aren't too happy with me. You can see all the different types of notifications I get. It's pretty funny. All right, let's just quickly take over. Nope. All right, that battle is over. We're going to occupy now. And we'll just see what else is out there. So we took Durkos, a new settlement. We've got 95,000 food, 102,000 wood, 63,000 for stone. It's probably taking a little bit longer to load now because I own so much land. Like, oh, now we're going to take a minute. All right, and there we are. I don't mind fighting out every single battle as long as, you know, there's like a true challenge here. But if the challenge is gone, then I'm going to auto-resolve my way to victory. All right, I think that might be it, man. I think that's pretty much it for that faction. I think I just need to, like, find their leaders and... Wait, you own one? Oh, no. We got one left. Okay, my bad. One location left. Oh, it's way up here. Holy crap. Okay, well, that's where I'm going, I suppose. Let's go over here and patch up a little bit. We'll have to rush on up, but we'll go do that. Yeah, Lucas, we'll get you to go first. Here, I'm gonna let you just like run up there. If he's got like a full army, I mean, we could have like one last stand. I don't know. We'll have something, but really, dude? If you want to take that over, that's your option. They're really fighting till the very last. No faction would do that. There is no Troy. There are no Trojans now. You're just fighting in different lands that are so far from home. Poor guys. Poor babies. They don't even know what to do at this point. No, we're just waiting now. Let's see. Yep, they're gone too. Don't need alliances with you. And we're now going to push out. Let's see. He's right there. I've got one leader closer by. Ooh, a scary one, huh? Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Let's go after this little army. Those Amazons have a stack out here. I don't know if they're like trying to take land or not, or just trying to be... Well, no, they have been burning down locations. I've been seeing like burn down locations, so that must be them. Gotta be. All right, so we'll just rush on up real quick. We'll get you to move a little bit closer too. Don't think they can help out despite all of that. We'll come over here too, and let's see. What can we do against your settlement? We can just burn it. It's over. Mr. Plumehead has met his match. Lionhead has beaten Plumehead. All right. There it is. Oh my. What are you wearing? She's like, whoops, that popped out. All right, all right. Things are pretty exciting over here. Paris is like, I got my girl. Didn't really work out. Alliances are working out over in the west. Okay. Interesting eyeballs for sure. But we won our first Total War campaign. If Hector didn't have so many extra friends around here, then I would have won much earlier. Much earlier. But I did want to see the ending cutscene. I do love that they went so hard on this type of artwork. It's very cool. You know, they chose like someone who's very talented at art to kind of like downgrade their art style or their detail just to kind of like emulate the art style of what we see on pots and vases and things like that. I do love it. It is stylized. It's interesting to look at. Troy summed up. Yep, Troy summed up. Are we doing it again? Is that what we're doing? Interesting. Well, we saw the whole thing. I've got the power. Thank you for watching, everyone. We were able to... I own 177 regions. 49 provinces owned. I mean, I've got the power, man. I've got all the power. I've gotten the resources. I've killed a lot of people. I've taken over many locations. I've executed 18,000 people. I've taken on over 10,000. Total defeats 7. Victories 128. Yeah. Battles auto-resolved 96. I fought 39. I killed 51 units. I feel like I lost more just due to disbanding. I believe they still probably count that, but either way, we have won. Thank you for watching, everyone. Look forward to more content later, and as always, until then.